Hey, Black family. For those who are new here, welcome. And for my returning subs, thank you for coming back. My name is Tasha, and the purpose of this channel is to have open discussions about family matters in the Black community. So now that we got that out the way, let's get into today's question. Are we having conversations about personal hygiene with family members? And how are we approaching those conversations? As we know, personal hygiene is a sensitive issue. I noticed with my family, if a member had an issue with body odor or bad breath, we didn't address that concern with the individual. We did the complete opposite and talk about them behind their back. I never quite understood that. And matter of fact, now that I'm grown, 39 years old to be exact, if my breath is hot, please let me know. Like, slide me a mint, give me some gum, but don't let me go out like that where I'm just talking and smiling in people's faces and my breath is on 10, okay? One day I was working at a client's home, and this particular client had a sister who was probably middle school age, I suspect. I go in the bathroom behind her to get rid of something, and as soon as I opened the door, there I was greeted by like a horrendous smell, right? And then I noticed the toilet seat was covered in blood, like old blood, right? And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, there's only two reasons why this has happened. One, she's not changing her pad during school hours. Two, she has a heavy flow and just needs to find a pad that will accommodate her, right? And I thought to myself, when I started my period, my mama told me two things. The first thing she said, you know you can get pregnant. And the second thing she said, do not allow the garbage can in the bathroom to be filled with old pads, which I completely understood. But there was no conversation about leveling up my personal hygiene. And I never quite understood that. Why is it with young ladies in the Black community, in our Black family, why aren't we having conversations, open conversations about using the right soap down there? What is BV? What does it smell like? What are the signs of when your pH is off? Like, why aren't parents having these conversations with young ladies? And why is it that most of these young ladies are turning to Google to get information? I really think we should try and do better to promote open conversations about personal hygiene in a Black family. Which leads me to this next conversation I had with my nephew. I was visiting my nephew, staying at my sister's house, and I was like, hey, let's go out and get some food. Let's go hang out. So I told him, go ahead and take a shower. I'll be waiting for you downstairs. He's like, I already took a shower. I'm like, no, you didn't. He's like, yeah, I took a shower yesterday. I said, well, okay, you can take a shower today as well. And so by this time, we're going back and forth, and my sister comes into the conversation, and she asks him, did you take a shower? And he says again, I took one yesterday. Well, she said, well, okay. So I digress. Whatever. We get into the vehicle. My nephew starts talking, and I noticed that he did not even brush his teeth. I said, nephew, look now. Look, you are in high school. You need to be taking in showers every day. You need to be brushing your teeth every day. You need to be washing your face every day. Because like many high schoolers, my nephew was battling with acne. So I try to tell him, like, hey, you know what? Taking care of your body and your personal hygiene is beneficial to you. You don't want to go around stinking, which I never understood, because with boys, we say boys will be boys. So we just want to allow boys to be stinky, funky, gross, and dirty? I don't think that's a good excuse because body odor can affect things at the work environment. For example, I used to date my ex. He was a tall guy, big guy, sweat very easily, right? He had shared with me a conversation that happened at work. His manager had pulled him into the office and was like, "Look, bro, we're getting a lot of complaints. You stink." Well, he probably didn't say it like that, but they basically said that he stinks and he needs to fix it. So he did say he was a little embarrassed about it, but he started to work on his personal hygiene. And I never could quite understand because he would come over my house over the weekends, but he mainly stayed at his parents' house. And I'm just like, if your personal hygiene is that off, why come your parents didn't recognize it and say anything to you? Of course, when he came over my house on the weekends, I always made sure that the first thing he did was take a shower all the time, especially when he got off of work. And then there are some times where it's actually a medical issue. For example, I just started at this new job, and they were going around introducing me to everyone and the people that I'll be working with. And one lady in particular, very sweet lady, I noticed smelled like piss. And I'm talking about the piss where you have not been drinking no water, ma'am. No water, ma'am, at all. And of course, I'm mature. I smelt it, but I'm not going to let my face is not going to tell it, I still was nice and whatnot to her. As soon as she left the office, I was left with the rest of my coworkers that I'll be working with. And they was like, "We know you smelled that. We already talked to her about it. She doesn't do anything about it. And we can't stand the way that it smells." And it kind of hurt me because, man, she was really nice. She was the one that will always volunteer to get people's food for lunch. Nobody had an issue with her getting their lunch. But they were really mean behind her back. You know what I'm saying? Our offices were small, so it would kind of irritate certain people because they had to sit there and smell that, right? But I knew that was something that I believe she couldn't help. I do believe it was some type of medical issue, right, with her. So I say all this because I also had my own personal experience with body odor. There was a time that I was going through a significant weight loss. I was exercising really, really hard, and I probably wasn't drinking enough water as I should have been. And I had noticed by just looks that when I was talking that there was frowns. And with my family, they would just kind of just slide me a piece of gum. But with my coworkers, they were the ones that basically gave me solutions. They was like, "Hey, try this mint tea, drink this. This never makes my breath smell." Or, "Hey, try these pills. This really does help me with my breath." Yes, I was embarrassed, but I did appreciate my coworkers' concern versus my family who was just sliding me gum and probably was more than likely saying things behind my back, right? I say all of this, Black family, because yes, body odor is a sensitive topic, but it can affect relationships, the work environment, and self-esteem. But it doesn't help a person if you talk about them behind their back. We need to approach the individual with kindness and gentleness and help them find solutions, right? Because, that's what family is for. So, till next time, Black family, peace out. And then also Please leave comments below. Share your experiences if you have had something similar like this, or share solutions about maybe something has helped you out. Maybe you have dealt with some type of body odor. But nonetheless, Black family, we need to start having open discussions about things that we normally do not talk about with our family members. All right, peace out.